So the first work that Hochunien will speak about is Utama, Every Name in History is I, a work from 2003, which really deals with the origins of Singapore. It is an installation that comprises a film and 20 paintings depicting, in the sense of a fictionalization, the pre-colonial founder of Singapore. And you could maybe say that it is something like a correction to the official dominating way in which Singaporean history is referred to and is told today.
And if you ask most Singaporeans when Singapore is founded, the answer you are likely to get is 1819, which is the year that the British founded Singapore. And this founding was done through the East India Company, through a man called Sir Stamford Raffles. So for most Singaporeans, there is nothing in Singapore before 1819. History only begins in 1819. This is sort of the general impression that most Singaporeans have. But with this first project that I was doing, one of the starting questions was what is there before 1819? So in many ways, Utama, Every Name in History is I, is an attempt to look at this other mythical founder that came before the British, and to think about what it means that our country has two founding moments, two founding fathers.
Dan beliau wujud. Beliau yang mempunyai berbagai nama, Sang Nila Utama atau Sri Tribuana, Raja Tiga Dunia, Palembang, Bintan, dan Singapura.
I guess as you could see from this short excerpt, it was not really your intention to just replace or complement the colonial founding father with yet another founding myth, a kind of monolithic, truer identity story, if you will. But you did quite something different, which also is reflected in the 20 paintings you have shown earlier, where this figure kind of morphs through these different identities. And I wonder, maybe you could say a few words about the choices that seem important to you here in order to avoid maybe particular kind of dangers when one tries to write counter histories to the colonial narratives.
Sure. One of the intentions was to relativize the British colonial founder. For me, it's always been a question why we regard a colonial agent as the founding father of Singapore, you know. So putting the spotlight or presenting Utama was a way to relativize that. But at the same time, as you mentioned, I was also trying to avoid replacing one founding father with another. So at the same time that one questions the colonial founder, one also has to question his replacement, which is Sang Nila Utama, the pre-colonial founder. So sometimes I think that the project of Utama was pretty much, on the one hand, providing information about this other alternative founding father, Sang Nila Utama, but at the same time, with another hand, to redraw or to question this figure. So in a sense, I think that the intention is one has to deconstruct Utama at the same time as one is speaking about Utama. I like very much the phrase, thinking through Singapore. So it's about thinking kind of about Singapore, but also using Singapore as a kind of a lens, to kind of almost look through Singapore into the world. That for me is a kind of an ideal for my practice. So engaging Singapore, but also using Singapore to engage the world. So sort of thinking about Singapore as a